Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I hope your Pride season has been amazing and safe, and you enjoyed yourself. This is our final episode of season 11. So you can probably be watching this in July, which means all the craziness has is done and over with for a little bit, and then we go back again next year. So I had an amazing Pride celebration at Pride Month. We had the Q Musical. We started a music festival as a subdivision of all the media stuff that we do. But we had a wonderful 5 days at the Distillery Historic District. Fantastic success. We're definitely going to be doing more of that and expanding it. And I performed a few times, so it was a lot of fun. But my guest today, Cameron Tania, closed the final day. She also works in the vocal coaching space with artist and coach Mika Bonds, who, as you recall, we had on last season and kind of close to the end of the season. Known as Toronto's plus size pop princess, loving that. Cameron Tania is an award-winning queer, Asian, neurodivergent theater pop singer-songwriter who fearlessly embraces her love for musical theater, yay, and emphasizes elements of contemporary blues and acoustic folk pop production in her songwriting. Cameron's authentic storytelling, bitter lyrical honesty, and soothing vocals create a deeply emotional and safe auditory space for her fans. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's been a wonderful Pride Month just working with you and meeting you. And, we bumped into each other a couple times during the Pride season. So thank you so much for having me. And I think it was very fitting. We closed in Q Musical. We're closing out the season right now.
And then we have our little conversation. We're also performing on the same bill in a couple of weeks at O'Grady's on Church Street.
Yes,
So
that's
yeah,
gonna be
I'd love. I can't wait to work with you more. You've
thank you.
you've blown my mind. So I can start with this. You have an extensive resume, so I was trying to figure out how to work around the interview.
You
So
were
let's
like,
start.
send me as much as possible. And I was like, okay, you asked for it.
There you go. That's a good attitude. So let's start with the simplest question. Musically, what are you currently working on? I counted 39, I believe, releases in your discography. I could be wrong. Uh,
30, I think there was I have like a list of like conceptualized songs, and I think that's
uh,
probably what you saw. I think we have 8 out right now. But what I'm working on is very exciting album. And it's gonna be called I Know You're Watching. Very,
okay.
very cheeky title.
I get kind of right away. I'm getting images of what the album would be about. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So it kind of wraps up this whole through storyline. All my music was kind of about this one relationship, and the first EP was really, really super sad, and I was like in my feels and whatever. And then the newest single, which was Snapchat Memories, the first EP is called Alone on Fire. So then Snapchat Memories was kind of more of an FU kind of song where it's like, hey, we're getting over it. Well, I guess that was more, it felt very bitter, but in the way where that's just what I was feeling in that moment. You know what I mean? So now this next kind of album, I Know You're Watching, kind of closes out that whole narrative, and it's the healing and like the moving on kind of portion. So we're currently working on like we're just pretty much finishing the development and all the concept stuff, and then we're gonna go right into recording over the kind of fall and winter. So that's gonna be awesome.
You're gonna be busy for a while in the
Yeah.
studio. That was like fun. I love studio time. I think that's where yeah, it all comes together. It feels like it's all coming together after months of working. Uh,
Yeah.
you kind of uh, you kind of answered my question. I was going to say singles or albums because when we were talking about your 39 that I counted, but singles or albums. And what are your thoughts on releasing singles versus EPs versus albums for artists? I know there's a big debate on that.
Yes.
I love albums. I love full stories. But I understand also in a world where things are instantaneous. If you're not out there all the time, people forget you, and I think that's what artists are worried about. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts on the matter as a coach, probably?
Yeah, of course. I like as an artist, I also love an album. I'm a storyteller, and that's where like my musical theater element comes in. And I really think there's so much to be said about songs and thematic ideas that carry over and intertwine, and it really makes it more of an uh big experience versus just like a moment. But from also an artist like monetary perspective,
Okay.
an album is really expensive to produce. You have a lot of studio time. Like the one that we're working on now, we had to cut it down. It was like 14 or 16 or something.
That would be me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We cut her down to 12. So
Uh-huh.
I think singles are a really good way to kind of get people interested. I think everything plays an integral part, right? So if
Okay.
you're singles that like get people to know who you are, because at the end of the day, if you have a person who's never ever listened to you before and you say, here's a 28 song album, that is like a big chunk
Investment.
pill, yes, for them to
Yeah.
swallow versus here's this little tiny nugget and then they're going, "Oh, I'm intrigued," and that leads to more. So, I think as long as there's like a good balance between putting out your singles and like getting people hooked and then kind of directing them over to, okay, here's my EP or here's my album. Um, but yeah, I if I picked one or the other or anything, I would pick an album.
Enough. Okay, that's actually fantastic, and I think that making me think I did it correctly. I dropped some singles and then an EP, then some singles, and then an
Ah,
take your
yeah.
take it. But yeah, album like I don't throw in a Sinead O'Connor single. I throw in Sinead O'Connor's album.
Yeah, yeah,
I love listening to the whole experience, sort of thing.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
fair enough. We're gonna dive a lot deeper, but we're gonna take a little break.
Mhm.
To give everybody a little breather, and we will be right back. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Cameron Tania.
Life, it's in the whispers of the trees. Life, it's in the buzzing of the bees. Life, it's in the sparkling running streams. Life, it's in the magic of your dreams. Life is.
And we are back with the lovely Cameron Tania chatting away post Pride and all the fun things that we've done. Let's go to the beginning. What
Okay.
got you into music? Did you study it? Tell me about that part.
Yeah, of course. So my dad's a musician,
Oh,
very much a hobby kind of for him, but he was always very involved like in bands growing up and like
okay,
loves to work with his buddy to like produce music. And we had like a big piano in the home and the guitars and like it was very much in my space.
okay.
But I knew I really wanted to sing like around 10 or 11 and I went into like vocal training at that
Huh?
point. And then I went to like a music specialty middle school. So there you like studied all four arts disciplines. So that was like grade 6, 7, and 8. And then in high school, I went to an art specialty high school, and there you could major. So there I majored in vocal music,
Wow.
mostly like opera and jazz. That was like the big kind of two pathways you went down. Once per semester, you got to pick a song that you wanted to sing, and everybody was always really excited for that. And then I went to college at Seneca and I studied songwriting and performance. So that is kind of, yeah.
We're fellow Seneca. I took advertising and marketing and broadcast.
Okay, Seneca.
Seneca, yay!
Yeah, that's where I met Mika actually. He was my performance professor.
Oh, he taught Seneca. I did not know that.
Yes, he did. He did. So I was enrolled there for 2 years. So I was actually his teacher's assistant by the second year.
Oh, look at that.
And then I did like I took a little bit of a break, one because of the pandemic, but also just because I needed a little bit of time to think. And I was like, yes, songwriting is definitely what I want to do. I'm so in love with it in every single way. So we did that, and then I started interning with Mika as a coach, and now I'm the associate there. And I know that's not directly like schooling, but that's also the place where like I learn so much as a coach, but also as an artist from like helping and watching other people and other artists as well. So yeah.
Okay, actually, that was going to be a question.
Sorry, I keep jumping the
No,
gate.
no, that was going to be a question towards the end, but let's stay on this one.
Yeah.
Mika, how is it to be with Mika? And this, you guys seem to get along on social media. That's the impression
Oh,
I get.
we are just besties, us two.
Okay,
Like,
love it.
and he has been so like accepting of me as a person and not just me as a coach. Like that we have worked together in so many different ways. And even when I was in school, like we'd have little lunch together and, go get
That's
coffee
great.
and have our time. But he's always met me where I was. And when I needed to, I was super busy and I was like, okay, I need to adjust my hours or whatever. Like he was always so good about meeting me where I live. And when I make a mistake, it's like, not that it happens all the time, but it's like a learning opportunity. And it's this like, we just have such a good ebb and flow and we coach together a lot, like in
Okay.
our workshops and stuff. And I've had clients say before, like, I'm not really sure how it was going to work, like with two coaches. Like, are they going to be kind of interjecting each other and whatever? But
Yeah.
they said it was just such a nice flow. Like, we work really, really well together. And it's me and him, and sometimes Tom, his fiance, like,
Oh,
and
cool.
his hubby.
All
We're
big
just,
fan.
oh, yeah, who's also a theater director. And
I love it.
we're the girls. Like, we're just hanging out and chilling.
You know what? You get,
Great.
I mean, from having him on the show to working on a couple of events, I think, with him in the community, this is what I hear about him. He seems to be very caring, very
Mhm.
down to earth, easy to get along with, that sort of thing. So yeah, cool, beautiful. That's a good relationship.
Totally for sure.
Uh,
Yeah.
um, and the name of the what you guys do is the Singers Playground, right? If somebody's looking for that, yeah.
Yes.
So look up
Yes,
Singers.
of course.
Do you have a website for that?
I think it's literally just the singersplayground.com, or if you just Google Singers Playground, we do one-on-one lessons, we do group workshops. Mika does like career development, career mastery sessions online. So there's a lot of stuff for any developing or professional industry people.
Beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
career developing.
Thank
We
you for
talked
my
about
plug.
career developing. We talked about your beginning. That actually, for me, a segue into a question. I was going to ask, what makes an artist different between singer, vocalist, artist, but also, my friend Simone Denny, who's been on the show a couple of times, said to me when I first started, if you're getting into this to be famous, that's not
Mm.
reason to get into this. Why
Oh
should
yeah.
somebody get into music? When do you know that they're I mean, I know it's cliche to say the love of music and all that, but what should drive you into and what makes an artist versus a vocalist versus singer?
Okay, so let me answer that first.
Yeah.
So I think a singer versus an artist, I think there is a layer of creation and overall thematic idea to being an artist. I think anybody can like find a song and sing it.
Okay.
And that doesn't mean you have to be writing your songs. That's not what I mean. But I think what separates an artist is seeing this whole picture of like, okay, what is the listener going to feel? What do I want them to feel? How do I look when I'm doing this? How do I act when I'm doing it? What's the cover art going to look like? How are fans going to interact with me? Like all those things I think differentiate an artist from someone that might be a karaoke singer. And that's okay. Like those people are important as well. But if you're talking about the difference between the two, I think there's a level of like creation that goes into artistry. Um, and then why?
Very. I'm just sorry to interrupt you, but Sherry and I, who you know, Sherry is the my partner in the Key Musical artist, Sherry Sylvain, who also hosted some episodes with me here, and
Yeah.
show if you all remember. But we had this conversation because Sherry is more concentrated on being a singer. I would say there's nothing wrong. I see myself more somebody who has something to say, and
Mhm.
I'm using a medium to say,
Yeah.
and that to me is an artist.
Yeah.
Versus there are some beautiful vocalists who they come on stage, they sing us a beautiful song, and we enjoy their voice, but that's okay too. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. Okay, to continue with the with the same.
Yeah. So the rest of the question was why should someone sing? And I actually have a good story about this is when I was kind of finishing high school and why I took that time off was because I wasn't sure. We hear all this rhetoric around making music a career and is
Yeah.
it practical and blah blah blah. So I had this moment where I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just do something where I'm going to be secure or safe or whatever. Not that there's not jobs in music and that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
But I took that time off and I
Oh,
realized that I honestly just couldn't do anything else. And I think that that's like the definition of it. And you see people who
I
um,
love it.
I think about Ken Jeong, weirdly enough. He's an actor and a comedian.
Okay.
He was a doctor like for all this time. And then he couldn't do it anymore and he had to go and do the thing. So I think that is what why you should be doing it. Like when you feel this pull of like, actually, my whole life, I'm just not going to be happy doing anything else. And sometimes in the dark moments of being an artist, that's like the only thing that you need to lean on is like, you know what? This is the only thing that I can do in my heart. So that's how I think you know.
My God, I'm always gonna tear up. No, because to me it happened like the opposite. My family insisted that I have a real job, although
Yeah.
I come from a musical family and my aunts are known singers and whatever. I was supposed to have a real job, and I think I exploded when I just continued like, oh my God, I gotta sing though. I mean,
Yeah.
or I want to write songs. I want to do things, and so yeah, it's I guess you know, but yeah, again, if you're in it just to be famous, those
Yeah.
become a singer to be famous, that's not the right reason to be anything really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Um, in your bio, you list that you advocate for LGBTQ plus, two plus rights, neurodivergent accessibility,
Mm-hmm.
addiction recovery,
Mm-hmm.
abuse awareness, and fat liberation. I love how much you care about using music for a bigger purpose. I think that's the most beautiful thing that music could be used for. Uh, let's break these down. Let's break these very important topics down and their importance to you.
Yes.
LGBTQ2 plus.
Yes, of course. So the queer community is, first of all, being a bisexual and a queer woman, um, it's just been such a home base for me. And I think now more than ever, we need people to stick up for our rights, but specifically like trans rights, because that's kind of what's a big hot topic right now. So, I want to be able to like being at O'Grady's and like doing the Q Musicale. Like I love performing in spaces that are like for my community and with my community, because that's where I feel safe and that's where I want my listeners to feel safe. Like people like me are the people who are going to listen to my music. So I also want them to feel safe there as well. So that's my big thing with advocating for the community.
Neurodivergent accessibility. What does that mean to you, and why is it important?
Of course. So being neurodivergent is something that's relatively new in my life. Like I only got diagnosed when I was like just in college. So it was quite late, especially in my schooling career. And I'm really passionate about educating people on what we call low support needs, autism, and neurodivergence.
Okay.
Because what that means is we used to use terms high functioning and low functioning. We're trying to move away from those terms because we don't want to make the impression that people are functioning at a low level. But so what we use now is high support needs, so people who might need a lot of support, and low support needs. So I feel like there's a lot of information out there about autism and neurodivergence for people who are high support. So people who are nonverbal or who have really, really strong hyperfixations or repetitive behaviors, etc. But there's a whole other spectrum of low support needs individuals who still struggle on a daily basis, but in a much different way than is publicized. So that's something that I talk about a lot because it affects me, but also because I'm just so passionate about spreading this information because it came to me just far too late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's how you create the accessibility, by talking about it.
Yeah.
I love it. Cool. Addiction recovery, another very important topic and something to care for.
Yes.
What does it mean to you? Why are you passionate about that?
Yes, so I've struggled with addictions probably since I was 16, 17, and it's something that, I still struggle with now and in a very different way, but it's I think something in someone who struggled with addiction, it comes in and out of their life. Like there's moments where it's really, really good and moments when it's really, really bad. So I have my song Helium specifically that I wrote really when I was like 18 or so. And that is about kind of the whole journey of trying something and then feeling dependent on it. And then the kind of bridge section goes into this like withdrawal kind of moment. And yeah, so I want to when I talk about all the things I'm passionate about, it's important because I want my listeners to know like these themes come up in my music all the time. So I think it's really important again to spread that message. And when you go on my link tree, I have addiction resources, and I have domestic abuse resources, which we'll talk about. So I just I know the kind of people that I want my listeners to be and who my listeners are, and it's about supporting them in ways that I wanted to be supported.
I love. Oh my God, really love artists providing resources. That's the ultimate of what I will able to do that. And I'm glad you said addiction can creep in so many ways. It's not all substances or alcohol.
Yeah.
People get addicted to a million things.
Oh, yeah.
Abusive relationships.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Okay, abusive relationships, domestic abuse awareness. Okay.
Yes. So that's a big theme in kind of all of my music so far. I was in an abusive relationship from the time I was 16, 17 to about 20.
Right.
So that's another thing that it's hard to understand when you haven't been in that situation or you haven't seen it close to you. And it seems,
But yeah,
yeah. And it seems like there's this really black and white solution, and people are like, okay, so leave, or okay, so don't see this person anymore.
easier said than done.
Oh yeah, and there's so many levels, even just this statistic of it usually takes someone in an abusive relationship 7 tries to actually leave their partner. So if that try happens every 3 or 4 months, every 6 months, once a year, it can take a really long time. And it's probably the biggest theme throughout all my music. And I have those resources because there's a lot of misinformation, and there's a lot of women in these situations who might not know, because it's not this black and white, somebody put their hands on me. There's so many more types of abuse and manipulation and gaslighting. So yeah, just bringing awareness to that, and letting my listeners know that this is a safe space to talk about it, but also letting them know that this is the themes that I cover, so that they're aware. Yeah.
And last but not least, fat liberation.
Yeah, so I love talking about this one because this is kind of how I got a lot of my platform on TikTok. Just during the pandemic, I was posting a lot of so we use the term fat liberation in replace of body positivity. That's kind of what the trend kind of was at the
I was
time.
going to ask you, because that's the term that I'm commonly familiar with, body positivity. Yeah, okay.
And they are interchangeable, but the real kind of the big activists in our community will use fat liberation more in the way where body positivity was meant, although it is for people with body dysphoria and people who feel bad about their bodies, what it was meant to do was liberate the marginalized and oppressed bodies, which was fat, Black, trans women, and body positivity kind of became, well, we should all be positive and let's all just all love our bodies.
I knew you were going there. Okay.
Yes. And we're like, yes, that is totally true. But thin person saying body positivity, it's well, your body is already widely accepted. So why we say fat liberation is because we're liberating those bodies who have been marginalized.
That's a beautiful conversation. You know what? It's just I was called you look like a cancer patient because I'm skinny. Yeah, on queer dance floors.
Wow.
So it's you know what? That's on them, not on me. Whoever said it.
But there's so many different sides of it, and I think it just speaks to injustice and oppression. I think
Yeah.
that is kind of where it
Yeah,
goes as well.
I love where you're taking it.
Thank you.
Fascination, love it. Yeah. I always say all bodies are beautiful. It's just how we feel ourselves. But you know what? But again, that's too hoity-toity kind of cute.
They are interchangeable, and I think it comes with intent. When you have that same gorgeous intent that you have, where it's just coming from your soul, that is totally fine. So I
think we're all beautiful.
I just don't want you to feel insecure about your language.
Sometimes even when I'm cruising on like a meetup website or something, I feel guilty if I don't like somebody, because who am I to judge you? We're all beautiful. But,
Yeah.
I'm not attracted physically to you, but I don't want to, even if you don't know me, I don't want to be like, oh no, they're not my type, or they're ugly. Nobody's ugly. Okay. But
Yeah.
anyway. Okay. Um, in 2022, you won Songwriter of the Year at the 2022 OMAS with different category nominations: Durham Song of the Year, Emerging Artist of the Year, Songwriter of the Year. Wow, nice. In addition, you placed first in Osho Music Weeks 2022 Song Revealed. Okay, what do all these? There's more.
What does this mean?
Yeah, what does all these awards mean to you?
Yes, of course. So when I met my current partner, they were living in Oshawa, so we lived together in there for a bit, and that's where I met
Oh, really?
my manager. Yes, and my first teaching job was there.
Hey, I'm
So
in. Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's where I released my first EP. So
Really?
it's
I
actually a
was gonna
very
say you were not born in Oshawa. Why is the Oshawa thing coming from? Okay.
I know. Yeah, I lived there for a bit.
Okay.
And yeah, that's where I kind of released my first EP. So there's actually a really rich arts culture in arts like community in Oshawa just
Yeah.
because of the music business management program at Durham College. They do so much. They do Oshawa Music Week. They have the Oshawa Music Awards, which is what the OMAs were. So I got involved with them through Songs Revealed, which was a songwriting competition. That meant a lot to me. I remember being so nervous. I had never entered a competition before. And really, it was that competition where I won the recording studio time that I used to produce Snapchat Memories, which was
Oh,
my
cool.
next single. So that was really important. And then the OMAs was totally a next level experience. It was very professional. It was very I just felt so honored to be there with all the other artists that were nominated. It was just incredible, and I kept it short and sweet, my acceptance speech, because I was just so, so, so happy. And Songwriter of the Year was an incredible title, so I hold that award very, very close to my heart.
Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Um, we're gonna talk. Let's talk about social media. With 65,000 followers combined, very nice, done. You value strong fan engagement, which is evident in your growing 3.44 million likes on TikTok. I'm jealous. Due to similar TikTok videos reaching as high as 10 million. Nice. You were asked to be a brand ambassador for Relita Couture and
Hmm.
Weston. Okay, let's talk about the importance
Yes.
valuing and engaging with fans and the importance of social media to the success of an artist, or is it important at all? Debate.
Woo! All right, that's a question. Well, I think it's so important. I think I'm very with the times. I think that there is social media, it's a big beast. I definitely think it can be so harmful and it can be so
Aggressive.
yes. But I also think it can be a way for people to connect with each other in ways that they've never been able to. Like if you even just look at Chapel Roan, who is from the small town of Missouri that had like a couple thousand people where there's no queer people, but then to be able to go on the internet and see, oh, look at the daily life of someone out here living in Toronto and they're honest. And I feel like when we focus on those good sides of social media, that's the way that it can like affect and change lives. So I think it's really important. I love sharing with social media. And just as a person, I love connection. I love meeting people. I love having conversations with them and learning about their life. So social media has allowed me to do that with people everywhere. And it's allowed me to share and create relationships with other artists and other creatives. Some of my really close friends, like I met on TikTok. So yeah, it's really important to me. I feel like there was another question in all of your questions.
Is it important to an artist to pay attention? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I mean, it's a tool. It's
It's
what
a
you
tool.
it's what you make of it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy it, but if it becomes a pressure or it takes it
Mhm.
crazy, then maybe it's not the right tool. I don't know.
I think it needs to go hand in hand with a lot of things. Like
Oh,
if you're posting on TikTok, like also be going and playing shows and like directing those people to the TikTok.
I like that. Okay.
Then it's like go to a conference and like meet the people, but then like, oh, make a TikTok about being at the conference. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think,
Interact.
yeah, and they need to all interact with each other to
Yeah.
like boost us in the best way possible.
Okay. I think that's the best answer we can give anybody who's trying to figure that question out. I'm looking at your live performances, which is pretty extensive also for a short period of time. Thoughts on live performing and touring as a coach? I know you and Mika do drop videos of warming up, that sort of thing, getting a rest in between, presenting. You do some open mic yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, what are your thoughts on how? I guess it's important to developing your craft, but yeah, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Can you give me the main point of that question one more
Uh,
time?
thoughts on live performing and
Okay. Yes.
how important is it to the success of an artist?
Whew, it is honestly integral. It is
Yeah, okay.
when you build this relationship with your fans. So here's where we're talking about the intertwining, right? You build this relationship with your fans online. So
Okay.
just imagine this. The artist builds online. You're connecting with your fans. They know who you are. They know your daily life. They know all your songs. And now they finally have like ponied up essentially and they bought your concert ticket and they come out to your show and it's not energetic and the vocals aren't there. And it even goes into like, are you having a fun time? Do you like touring? Are you like, this kind of sucks and you're just there to like make your money or whatever that is?
Okay.
Why is that fan going to keep listening to you? Why is that fan going to come to another show? Do you know what I mean? So I think
I
there's
do.
live performance and then it goes into how are we developing our craft? How are we getting better? So a coach taught me there's a difference, Mr. Falconer Abraham, a
Okay.
difference between liking, knowing, and doing. So like,
Okay.
oh, I really like this song. I just wrote it. But maybe you don't know it that well. You can't do it without looking at it on the sheet, whatever.
Okay.
Then you know the song really well. Okay, I've played it a million times. I know the song really well. But then when you go to sing it and actually do it, there's still a disconnect there. Do you know what I mean? You still have to practice the actual doing it. So the practice of live performance is so important. And then you're connecting with your fans. You're getting comfortable on stage. You're knowing your material better. And you just improve. You improve in your social life. You improve how you speak to people. You improve being able to like reduce your anxiety and like want to get up and get out of bed. Like it, oh, I love it. It's so about it. So good.
You're so
It's
excited
like
about it.
meditation. It's like meditation for me. It really is.
Performing live is meditation for you.
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
You guys answered. I can't tell you because I can't remember the name of. I was reading an article where it was talking about this and talking about a band that had, I can't remember who they are. I wish I could, had a good success in what they put out years ago. But comes to their first live show, they could not imitate the magic, and it killed them basically.
Yeah.
Because you put out a really good record, but then you could not produce it live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. A piece of advice to someone who wants to take on the first step into doing songs and singing and professionally. What would be the simplest first advice we can give them?
Don't be afraid to ask for help and don't think you can do everything on your own.
So simple. Yeah, so brilliant.
I think, and there are artists who do it on their own, and I cannot even wrap my head around it. But I think we want to be this all encapsulated artist of like, I can produce and I can mix and I can master and
it all.
And I can play my own guitar and I can do like eventually you need to sleep and you need like it's okay to ask people to help you, and that's how you also become a better musician. So that's my advice.
Okay, I love it. We are going to take another break before we come back and chat more with Cameron Tania, so do not go anywhere. welcome back, Raj's viewers, and anywhere else you're watching. Um, in this segment, we dive a little bit into knowing you more. So I think you kind of mentioned a bit about your upbringing. Where were you up? Where were you brought up? Where were you born? That sort of thing. Home life.
Yes, of course. So I was born in Brampton, Ontario, Canada. And I have my parents, my mom and my dad, and they're still together. And we have my younger sister. She's just about to turn 16.
Oh,
So
sweet.
yeah, we're 8 years apart.
Sweet 16. Yay.
I know, because I just turned 24. So yes, 8 years apart.
Happy birthday.
And we lived in Brampton basically my whole like childhood. We moved kind of up kind of near Collingwood while
Oh,
I was 17.
okay.
And like I said, there was like music in my home, and my dad was a musician. My cousin also sings. Now my sister is a musician. She writes and
Wow.
my mom loves to watch and record us all. Um, but yeah,
I'm
so
still you entertain her.
yeah, exactly.
Nice. Very nice. Oh, that's actually beautiful to be surrounded by all this influences and people who love music. How were you in school? Were you like the troublemaker, the school clown?
So my dad actually worked at my school in
Oh
elementary.
wow.
So I was very popular in elementary school. Everybody, was like, oh my gosh, Mr. Lee's daughter. Like everybody loved me because they loved him. In middle school, I had a bit of like a harder time. There was some bullying in middle school, and I think I was just kind of trying to find my footing like as myself. And then the beginning of high school like was a little bit hard, but I think halfway through, like I kind of found my footing. Involved a lot in the music stuff and the theater stuff. Um, yeah, I was a pretty good kid. Like I was a little sneaky with my parents. I like skipped school some by the time I was like 12, and you know,
While they're watching the show, they might watch the show.
they know. My
Yeah.
my mom will tell you I was a little bit sneaky. But I was a good student. I struggled like I said, I got diagnosed like with autism, ADHD, like a whole bunch of nice little mixing pot. Right after I
Weird
like
old stuff.
finished. Yeah. Right after I finished
Oh, honey, I have OCD. I have like
oh, it's
I-
it's all it's never just one. There's always a nice little cocktail mix. So yeah, I remember sitting in school and thinking, what if I'm really, really smart, but I'm just having a harder time than everybody else? Because I still had good grades.
okay.
They weren't amazing, but they were like
Okay.
probably just above average. Like, do you know what I mean? So I always thought to myself, like, actually, what if I'm actually just so smart and I'm just having like I have this thing that's making it harder. And then I ignored it for a while. And then once I was an adult and living on my own, I was like, okay, maybe like keeping up with my laundry or like being able to like not be overstimulated by like my bag on my shoulder and a little bit of heat, maybe like like I think when I was a kid, I was like, oh, maybe I'm just a kid. Do you know what I mean? But by the time I was an adult, I was like, oh, like this is actually a
I see.
persistent issue. Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you took your time to take care of yourself. Cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, Other than music, what are your hobbies and pastime activities?
Okay. So,
Oh, big list.
big list. I'm very passionate about harm reduction. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I would
I
love
love
to
it.
volunteer in like a harm reduction space. Like even if you
Yeah.
like I love raving. That's another thing. I love to go to raves. I love dubstep music, which is like very different from like my theater side.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I
You're
and
a raver.
yeah, right. And at raves, they'll have like your medical tent, but they'll also have what's called a
Oh, you
festival.
work there on those things for harm. Oh, cool.
Yes, and they'll have like a harm reduction tent, which is
Nice.
like very, very different than what they do in the medical tent. So I love that. I also love, here's another thing, swings. Um, I love different kinds of swings. I have like a document about like basket swings and like straight swings and hoop swings and net swings. I love swings. I also love beach glass. I am like obsessed with collecting beach glass. So I
Oh,
go
cool.
over to like Woodbine Beach and a whole bunch of different beaches in the beaches and I collect beach glass. I absolutely love it. There's so much history behind beach glass. Like you can tell from like the color, shape, or like embossing of a piece, like what year it's from. Like I have a piece from like 1930, which is like crazy. And I
Oh my
found it
God.
on
Only an artist can see glass with this kind of eye.
those are my hobbies. Yeah.
I love it. It's actually very, very cool and interesting, and also very helpful. I love the harm reduction thing, and good for you.
Yeah.
All right, since you mentioned to me that you never watched the show, I expect you to be from now on. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We play a little game at the end.
Okay.
Uh, just quick questions, just answer whatever comes to mind. It's just more to get to know you. Your favorite color?
Well, do you think you could take
I
a
did
guess?
say pink because you were pink on my stage also.
It's pink.
It's pink? Cool. Favorite flower?
A chrysanthemum.
Oh, sweet. Your favorite season of the year?
S- Summer. I don't
Okay,
like to eat, but I like the freedom.
I like that. Good answer. Your idea of a perfect vacation?
Mm. Somewhere that's warm, but somewhere I can party.
Okay. Have you traveled?
Not much. Recently, I went to Maine for my best friend's
Okay,
engagement.
there you go.
Yeah.
Would that have been your favorite place to travel?
Favorite place I've traveled. I loved going to New York, and we've also
Okay.
with school we went to the Czech Republic and Austria.
Oh, wow, cool. Um, TV shows, movies recently you watched on Netflix, whatever, any station. I'm not recommending anybody that you'd recommend.
Oh, I love Shameless. I love Love Spectrum.
Really? Okay,
Oh, I love
I'm
Shameless.
being watching it. Okay, so that's a good one.
It's raunchy, but it's really good.
Hello, I love it already. Now
Okay,
that was the selling point. Now I didn't know.
perfect. No, it's so like I wish I could go and like wipe my memory and like watch that show again.
Okay, that's a very good recommendation. Okay, favorite cuisine,
Favorite what?
cuisine, food.
Oh, cuisine. I was like magazine.
Good.
Okay, let me just tell. This isn't my. It changes. I go through like really big ups and
Okay.
downs. But I've been obsessed with. There's this place at Queen and Bathurst. I think it's like Kazal Express or something. It's a Turkish restaurant, and they have this creamy Turkish chicken soup, and it's like chicken
Oh,
so, and it's like been like 40 degrees outside, and I go in and they're like, you
soup.
really want the soup again today? And I'm like, yes, I do. So that's what I've been obsessed with recently.
Nice. Okay, that's a very specific.
You need everybody watching, go in Toronto and get that soup, okay?
Do you cook?
I cook every meal of my household.
Okay. What's
Yeah.
the dish that you make that we should all be coming over to?
Woo! Okay, I make a really good General Tao chicken, like I said,
Oh, nice.
Chinese.
Uh-huh.
And it's like been a passed down. Like my grandpa made it, he makes it.
Ah,
Yeah,
nice.
it's so good.
All right. Well, everybody, we're invited to Cameron's place after.
Okay, perfect.
Bring the wine. No, I don't know what you're
Everybody bring their own chicken because chicken,
oh, chicken. We're gonna eat a lot of chicken.
just the raw chicken. I'll do the rest of it.
That's funny. What's one food you tried and you would never eat again? I don't think I have any.
This is such a basic answer. I don't like vegetables.
You
It's really bad.
serious?
I don't like I have a big thing with texture. I don't like how like I'm every goldfish I eat is like the exact same, right? But when you think of like a blueberry, well, I know blueberries okay. Think about a tomato.
Okay.
Every tomato, like I don't know what to expect here.
Oh my God, that's such a cute. Look at that. All right. What's the
No, a tomato is also a fruit. I said not a blueberry, and then I said tomato. No. Okay.
uh you've got a wide open weekend, nothing to do. What would you spend it doing?
I have to do something. I am like
Oh,
such a oh my gosh, I have nothing to do today. Like, who wants to hang
oh
out?
my God, you we'd get along. I would go
Um,
crazy.
if it's a perfect day, I would love to go to the beach. Here's the thing, we can't swim in Toronto beaches. So, where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to Sauble Beach or we're gonna go to Port Stanley in
Oh,
London.
nice. Okay, cool. All right. There you go. Beach day. When we don't have anything to do, let's do a beach day.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh, that's the cliche question. If you could have dinner with anybody in the world from across history, who would it be and why?
Okay, so I always answer this question with Phoebe Bridgers because she's my favorite everything. But I think I would be so nervous, or like I often practice like what would I do if I met her, because I think I would literally like hyperventilate and pass out. Oh, my other answer is there's this girl named Chloe Hayden, and she's like an autism advocate, and she was the reason why I kind of discovered like her portrayal of this one autistic character, like discovered how I was neurodivergent. Anyways, I think we would just have a ball together. We would have the best day. Both of those people are still alive, so I feel like I'm like misusing this like all empowering question, but that would be my answer.
I love it. Love it. Totally love it. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Ooh. I want to I want to read minds. Do I? Maybe I don't actually.
I was gonna say you would be very, very tired of this very
Is
quickly.
it manipulated to say that I want to have like Jasper's power from Twilight and he can like make people feel different emotions?
That's actually very cool. Yeah, sure.
Like that's kind of a weird like
I like.
you
I know. I like. It's very
wanted me to
interesting.
say invisibility, didn't you?
I've heard a lot of different answers, but I've never had that one. A job you'd be terrible at.
Oh my gosh. Like
For me,
fast food.
waiting. But huh?
No, I've been a server, I can be a server, but
Yeah.
like fast food, the beeping and the all the things that and the multi-tap, no, not for
Okay.
me.
Okay. Are you early or late?
Oh, late, always late, always late. I'm
You
surprised I wasn't late today.
you weren't at the you weren't at the festival.
But like for important things, like I try my best. But say,
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna be like, remember how I had to go home and change? Girly
Yeah.
was ready. You know what I
Funny.
mean?
I was actually going to say, wait a second, you were early for the sound check, but then you had to still go away.
There you go.
Okay, fair enough. Your number one pet peeve. What drives you crazy?
Hmm. Somebody like chewing really close to me if it's quiet, or
Oh my God, I was having this conversation with somebody that there's actually there's add one to your neurodivergent because apparently that's an because apparently I was called neurodivergent last week because I it drives me insane when somebody's
yeah.
chewing like vegetables beside me.
See, like if it's like a bunny chewing a vegetable, I'd be like, I love that. That's so cute. But like I'll be like
Or
doing my work and somebody beside me is like crunching on a box.
crunching chips. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you. All right. The best advice you've ever received from someone.
Hmm. The art doesn't have to be perfect for it to be art.
Ooh, wise, deep. Best compliment you've ever received from someone.
This is so random. But when I was in high school, I was in a play or a musical called Spring Awakening, and I played a character called Ilsa. And there was a girl who had come to the show who had played my character's role in like a Mervish production of
Okay.
Spring.
Oh wow.
She told me after, and this has always stuck with me. I don't want to feel like I'm gassing myself up, but she
Uh,
said we like Ilsa is kind of a background supporting character, and she only has one big scene. And she said to me, I never had fully understood that scene until the way that you acted it. And that since then,
wow.
whoop,
Oof.
uh,
Yeah,
that's my
that's my
biggest
point.
one. Yeah, yeah.
That's a beautiful compliment. Good for you. Good on you. What's the number one thing you wish more people knew about you? That's the last question.
Hey,
Make it count. Okay.
this is more of a personal like answer,
Okay.
but I love people so deeply and so strongly, especially like the friends of my life. Like my partner knows I love them and they love me back so much, but I love my friends and the close people in my life so deeply. And I'm at the point where I am like, if you're not ready to love me in that same way back, don't bother.
Oh my God, I love it.
That's what I want people to
Okay.
know.
Yeah, all right. That's a great closer. Thank you, Cameron. I don't know I don't know what your experience and how many interviews you've done, but you're a natural on this.
Thank you. I think I've only done like one or I think only one other one. So thank
Yeah,
you.
really? Wow. Okay. Book her for interviews. It's a lot of fun time. Well, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you and all what you're doing. Look forward to knowing you more and working with you more. And everyone, thank you for watching. Value yourself. I hope you felt the pride around Pride season, but take that and live with that feeling for the rest of the year. And I'm gonna take a break for a couple of months from the show, and we'll be back with the 12th season of On the Couch, the longest broadcasted queer talk show in Canada's history on any network. So we'll see you very, very soon. Take good care. Bye.